Love 101, and it's time for the Morning Watch brought to you today by your friends at General Accident, future proofing for tomorrow. Big thanks to our friends at General Accident.
There is an easy way for insurance coverage today. With no line in your way, all you have to say is
Genac.com. Everything you have is everything you have. So keep your assets covered and save 10% off your insurance when you renew by visiting Genac.com. You don't need to go into a branch. You can do just about everything online at genac.com. Remember, smart insurance saves. Who knows what tomorrow brings? So future-proof everything.
insurance on the go. Trust the brand that you know.
genac.com.
All you have to say is Genac.com.
General Accident Insurance Company. Future-proofing tomorrow.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. And for those listeners from the U.S., our number to access us is 712-832-8001. And if you are in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. And in the main watch today, Afghanistan today. And in the second watch, Jamaica and the growth of AI. That is Jamaica and the growth of AI. For our Facebook question we asked, what kind of artificial intelligence are you looking forward to interacting with in Jamaica? Share your responses in our Facebook or YouTube, Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes to 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your comments later on in the program, but first, here's our quote.
This morning's I quote, either you run the day or the day runs you, Jim Ron. Stokely? Right, did I lose him?
Well, what kind of artificial intelligence are you looking forward to interacting with in Jamaica? Well, share your responses in our Facebook or YouTube, Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes to 876-997-3125 using hashtag The Morning Watch. And the main watch will be back after this.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J&B Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. J&B Bank will help you find a way.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness invites members of the public to attend the vaccination site Tuesday, September 14, to receive their second dose of the AstraZeneca and Pfizer vaccines. Select sites will offer the Johnson & Johnson and the first dose of AstraZeneca. Please visit vaccination.moh.gov.jm or social media for details on location, opening hours, and vaccine type. Here are the sites for Tuesday, September 14. St. Anne, Turtle River Park, Ocherias, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Over in St. Mary, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., St. Mary High School, Port Maria Anglican Church Hall, and the Onoto Bay Sports Complex. In Portland, at the Port Antonio High School, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. In Manchester, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Manchester and Belfield High Schools. In Trelawney, Bounty Hall Health Center, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Warsop Health Center, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. In Clarendon, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Denby Primary School, Bustamante and Kellitts High Schools and Frankfield Health Center. In St. James, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Type 5 Health Center. Sandals Inn, Catherine Hall and Mount Carey Health Centers and Salter Hill Baptist Church. In St. Catherine from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Portmore Heart Academy, and at the Eltham, Dinthill, Old Harbour, Jose Marti, Guys Hill, and St. Jago High Schools. Hanover, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Green Island, Ramble, Sandy Bay, and Lucy Health Centers. In Kingston and St. Andrew, National Arena, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And also in Kingston and St. Andrew, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Mona Aging and Wellness Center, UHWI, Merle Grove High School, St. George's College, and Jamaica College. In St. Thomas, Yalis Health Center, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Over in Westmoreland, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Manning's School, Negril and Savannah Lamar Health Centers, Grange Hill High School, and New Hope Primary School. And in St. Elizabeth, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Bellevue, Macatee, Newmarket, Junction, and Springfield Health Centers. Persons should take their school ID, child's birth certificate, a government-issued identification, or letter from a justice of the peace to the sites. Let's get vaccinated and get back to life.
Flow makes it easier for you to stay connected. So if you need to borrow phone credit, just give yourself credit with Flow Lend. Conveniently borrow credit to use however you like and repay later by topping up. Simply dial *135 number sign. Select the credit amount, confirm your selection, and enjoy your credit. Flow Lend is another way we help you stay connected. Give yourself credit with ease at any time. Use it, Flow Lend. Conditions apply.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J&B Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. J&B Bank will help you find a way.
Where the students, teachers, Campus Connection is back in full swing. We kickstart this new term inside Campus Connection on Tuesday, September 14 at 5:30 p.m. with hosts Floyd Wilson and Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuels as they take a look at the 2021 new school year. Facing COVID, beating the odds. And this Tuesday, we will connect with a few students and teachers as they share about week 1 of the 2021 school year. Also, we will connect with Love 101's youth ambassador, Siobhan Blair. Students, we want to hear from you. So be sure to call in and share with us how you are coping with week 1 of the new school year. That's Campus Connection. This Tuesday, September 14 at 5:30 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
We are the lads from campus. Come on, tell me what I want. Campus Connection, tell me what I want. Campus Connection.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. We are now in the main watch. And a few weeks ago, we started a conversation on Afghanistan and the pullout of the USA. And today we would like to continue that discussion as we try to understand why we are where we are today and what possible, if any, religious connections there are. Online with us, we have Arnella Rose Stanley. She lived in Israel for 5 years and has a master's in Mid-Eastern Studies. Good morning, Mrs. Rose Stanley. How are you this morning?
Hello.
Morning, Mrs. Rose Stanley. How are you today? How are you this morning?
I am doing very well. Thank you.
Great, great. We do regret that we are only now connecting with you, but you are online with us now, and we are happy for that. And I will jump right into it because we have lost a little bit of time, and we do apologize to our listeners as well, Fuzzy. Now, the USA left Afghanistan, and they left a lot of military equipment. There is some disagreement among certain quarters as to the amount and the value and whether it's of any use, but they did leave back a lot of military equipment in Afghanistan. And on another note, a lot of missionary work had been done in Afghanistan over the years, and many Afghan peoples were flown to the U.S. recently, consequent on the recent U.S. withdrawal, and a lot of Afghan Christians, unfortunately, have been left behind in Afghanistan. And I say unfortunately because there's a view that these Afghani Christians are at risk or have been at the risk and mercy of, at risk of being tortured and otherwise ill-treated by the Taliban, it is indicated. And as someone, Mrs. Rose Stanley, who maintains a strong interest in Middle Eastern affairs, what do you think will happen now based on all of what has transpired just recently, Mrs. Rose Stanley?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on this program. We are at a very, very interesting time in the development of our history, of the world, really. Now, the U.S. withdrawal, you made reference to that, and there are some sources that suggest as much as 80 billion worth of the most sophisticated military the world has ever seen is in the hands of the Taliban. And the Taliban, on the other hand, is a 7th century Mohammedan movement considered the most brutal of the militant Islamic movement in the Middle East. So there may be a dispute about how much of what is left, but they are armed and they are much more prepared for war than they were 10 years ago when America went in.
Well, 20. 2001 with 9/11?
20 years ago.
Okay.
From a geopolitical perspective, the world has reached a huge turning point. It has come to the end of an era because America has pulled out. It is the interference of the West that has caused forces in the Middle East to have been restrained. And America, with its bases in Iran, Iraq, not Iran really, but Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, now Afghanistan, have withdrawn. America's presence in the Middle East has held back the push by forces in the Middle East that want to overtake the nation and is anxious to rush towards Jerusalem, which is their main goal.
You know, we're almost upon a break already, Mrs. Rose Stanley, but some person listening to you might say that you're taking a sort of pro-Israel or sort of pro-Western view of the matter, and person might say, listen, these persons have a right to their own self-determination. Why should they be arguably subjected to this sort of Western influence? How do you respond to that? Well, before you respond to that, let's go to the break and stay with us on the morning watch. We'll be right back. To go stand as we get back to that question shortly.
JN Money Card. Send the money. More withdraw in a hurry. JN Money Card free. With your TRN and your ID. And when me no walk with cash, me just swipe like that. From abroad to card. Get the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. JN Money Card sent from abroad. JN Money Card.
Available at JN Money locations across Jamaica. Conditions apply.
Hey, my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider. The least of a test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late, so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Real long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Real long life, our story. Real long life was a youth coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
There is an easy way for insurance coverage today with no line in your way. All you have to say is
Genac.com. Everything you have is everything you have. So keep your assets covered and save 10% off your insurance when you renew by visiting Genac.com. You don't need to go into a branch. You can do just about everything online at GENAC.com. Remember, smart insurance saves. Who knows what tomorrow brings? So future-proof everything.
insurance on the go. Trust the brand that you know.
GENAC.com.
All you have to say is Genac.com.
General Accident Insurance Company. Future-proofing tomorrow.
DJ Bounce. Make we rich together with Digicel. Just call 142 or dial *142 $ from your prepaid phone for a chance to win your share of $42 million in cash and prizes. Enter to get $500 bonus credit. Smartphone users get 500 megabytes any use data and 1 gigabyte BIP data, while non-smartphone users get 10 minutes and 50 SMS free for Digicel to Digicel calls and texts. Each entry costs $100. From now until September 14th, make we rich together with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. We are in the main watch, and we're looking at Afghanistan today. And our guest, Arnella Rose Stanley, who lived in Israel for 5 years and has a master's in Mid Eastern Studies. Arnella Rose Stanley, just before the break, Mrs. Rose Stanley?
Yes.
Just before the break, I was asking you whether, listen, you did outline for a certain facts or events that had occurred in relation to Afghanistan, and you're, in a nutshell, looking to what can happen next. And I was saying to you, maybe you're taking a pro-Israel or a pro-Western view that many other persons may totally disagree with you on. How would you respond to that?
Yes. The Afghan people themselves wanted to be free. The Afghan people themselves are Muslims. Yes. They are of the Islamic faith and belief. But they themselves wanted to be freed of the Taliban, because the expression of the Taliban is the more extreme form of Islamic belief.
Radical Islam. Radical Islam.
Radical Islam, but they are at the farthest end of the radicality, as it were. And so many wanted to generally.
We hear you. We understand what you're trying to say. Yes.
Yes, the Afghan people wanted to be free, and in this way, one could say America assisted. Of course, America also had its own goal in going in. Perhaps we could say that the silver lining in all of this is really what God has accomplished, because Afghanistan has been the most difficult mission field in the world. And now, after 20 years, there has been a flourishing community of believers, albeit mostly and they have not known this before. And so that is like a silver lining, but the withdrawal of America, the way in which America withdrew from Afghanistan, has sent a great message to the Islamic peoples around. They see this as the great Satan, the superpower of the world, fleeing, and fleeing without military confrontation. So from their perspective, in terms of how they think, they are greatly emboldened.
Okay, so let me see if I can get this clear. Muslims in Afghanistan and in that region of the world, particularly, the radical elements certainly, they regard the recent withdrawal of the United States as a victory. So they saw the United States as a great Satan. Is that what you're saying?
That is, yes. And Iran and all around the Middle East, there is an opposition to America. So naturally, America being inside of that country is their enemy. And perhaps this is why I said that one silver lining that we can see as persons in the West is what God has accomplished these 20 years.
Which is what you would say?
Which is many Afghan people coming to know him.
Okay.
And so there's a thriving Afghan community of believers in the land, in a land that is the hardest to reach in the world.
I see. Now, how do you think radical Islam, and you're even referring to the Taliban as, paraphrasing, an extreme form of radical Islam, how do you think radical Islam is viewing this recent U.S. withdrawal in other ways? Because, let me frame it another way. A lot of persons in Afghanistan were airlifted to the United States in the wake of this recent withdrawal.
Yeah.
And do you think, or do you see the possibility of persons who, may be sympathetic then to the Taliban? They may not be even radical, but they might be somewhat sympathetic to the Taliban, maybe getting into the United States in this way. And if so, what are the implications, in your opinion, going forward for the U.S. itself in terms of its own choice?
Well, I suppose what one can say without contradiction is that Afghans are Muslims.
Yes.
There are those in Afghans who became believers.
Yes.
But Afghans are Muslims. So what is really happening, it seems, even on the surface of it, is that the United States is importing a Muslim population. The Biden administration, according to USAnews.com, anticipates settling 64,000 by the end of this month, and another 30,000 over the next several months. So the United States is looking at settling 94,000 Afghans. And there are those persons, and again, articles, are saying, how many of these persons could be terrorists, especially when one considers that the reason the United States went into Afghan was because of 9/11. That's very ironic.
While we're having this discussion, I want to be sensitive to the Afghan refugees. Is that any of these persons would, as you indicated, the Taliban was particularly radical, and many of these refugees would have wanted to escape. The concern, however, is whether a couple of bad apples would have slipped in among the good sheep, unbeknownst to the U.S., and what implications there could be there from. Well,
that is left to be seen.
left to be seen indeed. And how do you view what has happened in Afghanistan overall, however, Mrs. Rose Stanley, from the perspective of biblical thought? For example, we know there's the book of Revelation, the book of Ezekiel, and other various scriptures. Do you view this from the perspective of biblical prophecy as being very significant, or you are only seeing it through the lens of missionary work that was done in Afghanistan, which led to the conversion of many of those persons to Christianity?
Well, according to Bill Randall, he did an interview of 1 Minute to Midnight.
1 Minute to Midnight?
Yes, 1 Minute to Midnight.
Yes. I've seen.
Yes. He comments on what has been happening, the great stirring that has been happening in the Islamic world because of America's withdrawal.
Yes.
And he points to a Islamic prophecy that talks about
an Islamic prophecy.
Yes, Islam has prophecies just in the same way that within Christianity, within the scriptures, there are prophecies that speak towards the looking of the return of, in Christianity, Jesus, in Islam, the Mahdi.
I see. Okay. Proceed.
Proceed. Yes. And some of you may have seen when ISIS or other radical movements with their black flag, a black flag that they would raise. Well, there is an Islamic prophecy that says if you see the black banners coming from Khorasan, go to them immediately, even if you must crawl over ice, because indeed amongst them is the Caliph Al-Mahdi, and Al-Mahdi is the name for the Islamic, the person they're looking for. And the banners coming from Khorasan actually happens to be the very area of East Iran, all of Afghanistan, and even further east. And the fact that the superpower of the world has been, as it were, rooted from Afghanistan, ignominiously, really, young people, Islamic young people, are studying their scripture as well as the biblical scripture. They're searching prophecy. And many are becoming excited because they feel that this could be the fulfillment of what was said by their prophets, that when one sees all this happening coming from Khorasan, the very area from which America has now fled.
I see.
And you see, America is the superpower of the world.
We are almost out of time already, Mrs. Rose Stanley, and as we are coming to the end, it's getting even more interesting. Much of this area that you're referring to, would that have been part of what was once the Ottoman Empire? Am I correct?
Yes, it would have been part of what is the Ottoman Empire, and even beyond.
And for those persons listening, that would have been an empire covering areas like Turkey and beyond, which was a vast empire, which is no longer what it once was. It's clearly that it no longer is. Yes. So, do you see that?
All these are mentioned in Ezekiel 38 as some Ezekiel reference.
Okay.
And places like Rosh, Meshech, Tubal is actually Turkey. And Turkey, the Ottoman Turkey, were the rulers in the Ottoman Empire.
So some persons are seeing it as a sort of symbolic resurgence of that empire?
Yes. There are many articles that do suggest that. And besides, Turkey was secular for a long time. After the falling of the Ottoman Empire, Turkey's leader was secular and secularized the Turkey. Which is why
there's no return to Islam. There's no return to Islam.
That's right.
We need to leave it there this morning, Mrs. Only because we're totally out of time, but we need to leave it there. It's getting even more interesting as we proceed. I want to thank you, Mrs. Arnella Rose Stanley, for being with us a second time in recent times here. Very interesting conversation. Hope to have you back again. Please stay with us, listeners. We'll be right back on the morning one.
Now, with no processing fees and no down payment, it's time to open the door to your own sweet home. The time by JN Bank is
7:31.
DIGICEL. First in a class when you have Digicel. School as Prime Bundle. That's right, with your educational website, make you bright. Head to the top of your class with your first Digicel SIM and a School as Prime Bundle. Get over 142 gigabytes of data so you can have access to educational sites, social media platforms, Digicel apps, and more for as low as $1,500 for 28 days. Get the School as Prime Bundle with your first Digicel SIM card. Visit the Digicel store today. DIGICEL.
Need to pass your CSEC CAPE exams to get that dream job or to qualify for university? Then Distinction College is the school for you. We have locations in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth, and Ocho Rios. Start day, evening, and Saturday classes this coming term and sit CSEC CAPE exams for January's resit or May, June. Maths, law, science, English. We have the lowest school fees. Register before the end of the month and win an entire term free. Call us at 354-8560.
NIS pensioners, avoid the wait. Get your NIS pension straight to your bank account. It's easy. Simply visit the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's website, mlss.gov.jm, or the nearest NIS office and collect the direct deposit application form. Then complete the form and submit it along with supporting documents to the NIS office nearest you. Avoid crowds and long lines. Get your money when you want it. The National Insurance Scheme, always working for you.
the first sound they make is to simply let the world know they're here. And then it's our duty to help them show the world why they're here in the first place.
Give them every advantage with the Guardian Achiever, a plan that provides for their educational dreams and protects their health and life in the process. For more information, call 888-4LIFE to speak to an advisor or visit myguardiangroup.com.
Stay informed and keep up to date with all the happenings locally, regionally, and internationally. Follow My Jamaica Today on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Also check us out at jamaicatoday.com as we bring you all the information you need wherever you are, with fearless and factual reporting on politics, world news, business, entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. It's My Jamaica Today, Jamaica's first digital media house, only 3 clicks away.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. Let's take a look at the newspaper to see what Jamaicans and others are doing. And we have here the Jamaica Observer online. Merle Grove debacle deepens. That is Merle Grove debacle deepens. Quite a bit of that being said recently or discussed recently in the news, and we continue to look at that to monitor what those developments will be. We now turn to the Gleaner as well online, and we have here fire at Alexandra Police Station. Inmates relocated. I'll read a little bit of it here. 10 inmates who were being fired. Well, 10 inmates who were being held at the Alexandra Police Station and have been relocated following a fire on Monday evening. It happened around 7 p.m. The fire is apparently suspected to have been started by the inmate. And so we await the relevant investigation into that. Coming up next, we'll read through some of the feedback from our Facebook and WhatsApp question, which is, what kind of artificial intelligence are you looking forward to interacting with in Jamaica? If you haven't done so yet, leave your responses on our Facebook or YouTube, Love One and FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes to 876-997-3125 using hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll be right back.
How does a secular dancehall artist become a reggae gospel touting performing minister? What did the Bible mean before? And what does it say to such a person now? How does the word direct their life day by day? When the world questions and judges them, how do they stand by the word? Come to The Rock with host Pastor Harris Steve Blair and guest Stitchy and find out what the Bible says to Stitchy and whether the Bible really has anything to say to people like Cleveland Lang, a.k.a. Stitchy. That's The Rock, this Tuesday, September 14 at 10 a.m. on Love 101 FM, the family station.
Here's a vaccination message from Love 101 FM. Getting vaccinated, ensure you have your school ID, child's birth certificate, a government-issued identification, or letter from a Justice of the Peace to the sites. My name is Jody Ann Mitchell from Love 101 FM, encouraging you to get vaccinated and get back to life.
Welcome back, your students, to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. Now, going into the second watch here, where is Jamaica in terms of artificial intelligence, popularly shortened and said or called AI, artificial intelligence? Are we keeping up with this technology or with the relevant technologies in that regard, even if not practically? Do we know what these technologies are? How do we interact with them on a day-to-day basis? Do we even know that we're interacting with AI? We have online this morning to discuss this Rudy Robinson. He's an industrial engineer. He specializes in computer hardware, and he's a lecturer at the Montego Bay Community College. We also have online Mr. Sean McEwen. And Mr. McEwen is someone who is very qualified in his field as well. He has worked in the field of ICT and visual communication for 20 years and is a past student of the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts and a graduate of the University of Liverpool, where he pursued a MSc degree in Information Systems and Technology, and he is the Information, Communication, and Technology Manager and Manager for the Creative Development and Production Unit, Management Institute for National Development. Mr. McEwen and Robinson, good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Mr. McEwen. Mr. Robinson.
Yes, can you hear me?
Hearing you, sir. Hearing you. Mr.
Okay.
McEwen. Or was that Mr. Oh, that was Mr. Robinson, yes?
Yes, that was me.
Great. Mr. McEwen.
Mute button.
Seems to be having a little challenge hearing Mr. McEwen. Well, we'll proceed until we have that resolved. Mr. Robinson, good morning again, sir.
Good morning.
I want to jump right into it because then we may have lost a little bit of time, sir. Now, can you remind the listeners, remind us, sir, what exactly is artificial intelligence?
Essentially, to sum it up simply, it is computers and machines mimicking human intelligence, behaving like humans, trying to think and act like humans.
Okay. Mr. McEwen, are you online with us now? Still not hearing him. Okay. Well, Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Where would you say artificial intelligence is used in the economy, in the Jamaican economy specifically, and also in government operations? I was hoping to pose an aspect of that question, in particular to Mr. McEwen, but until we have him on, until you can hear him, Mr. Robinson, please go ahead.
All right. Mr. McEwen would be good at this because he's in the area, but I'll do my best. In the Jamaican economy, we use artificial intelligence quite a bit in customer service type systems. Sometimes when you call a company or even the government for assistance, the answer is not given by a human being. You'll hear a Jamaican accent, it'll sound very Jamaican, but it's actually a computer mimicking a Jamaican, right? So a lot of... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I continue, sir. Please continue. I wasn't interrupting you at all. I was just saying, I see.
Oh, sorry. Right. So that's one big area, customer services, answering questions. Usually the questions are repetitive for the particular company or government body. And so they use computers to actually handle these questions. It's only on the rare occasion where a question is asked which the computer can't answer that it would pass it over to a human system. So that's one area. Then there's economic and financial forecasting, where the artificial intelligence monitors the activities in a particular industry, looks at what the trends are, and without you having to do any analysis, it will basically tell you, look, invest in this, or don't bother with that, or this is going out of style, without you having to do any statistical analysis or any research or anything like that.
I see. So it acts in a sort of predictive and monitoring way.
Yes, you're right. You can use it for that.
Understood. Well, I recently heard, since you were last on air with us, Mr. Robinson, I'd say, you were last on air with us, I heard an advertisement. Well, it wasn't an advertisement really, but it was the head of a major financial institution in Jamaica, or entity in Jamaica, and they were indicating that they were using artificial intelligence in their operations, and I found it quite interesting because I think it was the first time I ever heard a company actually include that term or that phrase, artificial intelligence, in their public utterances in relation to how their operations are run. Do you think we'll be seeing more of or hearing more of that in the future going forward in Jamaica?
Yeah, it's going to be the only way you can compete.
It's going to be the what? The only way you can compete?
After a while, yes.
I see. Develop on that for us. Why do you say it is going to be the only way you can compete?
A big component of artificial intelligence is the learning. It's a learning ability. You don't have to type anymore instructions to artificially intelligent programs. They can learn. They can observe and they can learn, right? And then from learning, they can actually do reasoning. They can reason. So if you write an artificially intelligent program for a particular industry, and you put in all of the rules and regulations and all of the guidelines for that industry, that program will take that information and it will learn. It will monitor your clients. It will monitor what you do. It'll learn from those things. And then it will reason. It will analyze this information, right? And make decisions for you. And a big part of learning is self-correction. It will correct itself when it goes wrong. right? And so it has these three attributes.
I see. Now, we're up on a break, Mr. Robinson, and I think you have even more interesting things to say to us. Stay with us. This is to be right back with the Morning Watch.
Building wealth the smart way means you have a clear mission for your money. Specific and measurable means defining the reason for your financial goals. Achievable and realistic means keeping those goals meaningful, yet attainable. Think more retirement, less world's richest. Timely means keeping a time frame in mind so that all efforts remain focused.
Visit barita.com/opportunities for more growth coach insights.
There are a million reasons to want to own a home.
I want more space for the children.
I am tired of paying rent.
My wife and I want an investment. Go from future plans to keys in hand with an NCB mortgage. Get rates as low as 6.95%, 100% financing, and up to 40 years to repay. Plus, get the life insurance and home insurance you need all in one place. Visit myhome.jncb.com to get started. Conditions apply.
Flow makes it easier for you to stay connected. So if you need to borrow phone credit, just give yourself credit with Flow Lend. Conveniently borrow credit to use however you like and repay later by topping up. Simply dial *135 number sign. Select the credit amount, confirm your selection, and enjoy your credit. Flow Lend is another way we help you stay connected. Give yourself credit with ease at any time. Use it, Flow Lend.
Conditions apply. This is the soothing sound of your finances being handled by Grace Kennedy Financial Group. And this? It's actually the relaxing noise of your car and home insurance, handled by experts you can trust. Trust Grace Kennedy Financial Group to do your banking, insurance, investments, money services, and more gracefully. Get to know us at gracekennedyfinancialgroup.com.
There is an easy way for insurance coverage today with no line in your way. All you have to say is
Genac.com. Everything you have is everything you have. So keep your assets covered and save 10% off your insurance when you renew by visiting Genac.com. You don't need to go into a branch. You can do just about everything online at genac.com. Remember, smart insurance saves. Who knows what tomorrow brings? So future-proof everything.
insurance on the go. Trust the brand that you know.
GENAC.com.
All you have to say is Genac.com.
General Accident Insurance Company. Future-proofing tomorrow.
Flow makes it easier for you to stay connected. So if you need to borrow phone credit, just give yourself credit with Flow Lend. Conveniently borrow credit to use however you like and repay later by topping up. Simply dial *135 number sign. Select the credit amount, confirm your selection, and enjoy your credit. Flow Lend is another way we help you stay connected. Give yourself credit with ease at any time. Use it, Flow Lend.
Conditions apply.
Seniors, the next payment under the Social Pension Program starts September 20. Check your text messages to confirm how to collect yours. Not seeing a message? Call the ministry's office in your parish or 876-922-8007 or check our website at www.mlss.gov.jm. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
This is Love 101, the family station. It's 11 minutes to 8 o'clock.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. We are in the second watch, and we are looking at Jamaica and the growth of AI, artificial intelligence. And our guest is Mr. Rudy Robinson. He's an industrial engineer, and he also specializes in computer hardware, and he's a lecturer at the Montego Bay Community College. And we have been trying to have online Mr. Sean McEwen, who is the Information Communication Technology Manager and Manager for the Creative Development and Production Unit Management Institute for National Development. Mr. McEwen, we don't know if you're online with us now. Hope to connect with you even in this second half of the second watch. Mr. Robinson, continuing with you, sir. You did outline for us quite interestingly that companies will not be able to compete unless they are plugged into AI.
Yes, I mentioned that. What is happening is that everything is going global. Everything is international. There's no Jamaica in isolation anymore. Everything that we do is being watched around the world. And we are watching everything that goes on around the world in our particular industries. And because of this, other companies can monitor what we do. They can say, okay, well, in Jamaica, we believe we can get into this market, or we think we can influence that market. And so we have to stay on top of what is going on with this technology, with AI technology. And and AI technology is in a wide range of areas.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right? It's in the financial sector. It's in the business sector. It's in agriculture. It's in everything. It's everywhere. Right? And what I think Mr. McEwen would have explained even better than I can is the proliferation, the teaching. Are we preparing our young people for this development? Yes. We know all of them know how to use a computer and a cell phone.
In the school system, at the very least at the tertiary level, any comments in relation to preparing persons to go up there into an AI world?
Well, there is an effort primarily at the tertiary level, but more needs to be done at the secondary level, because I think the poor tertiary institutions have to be going over material that other countries would learn at the secondary level to get them up to speed before they can get into the tertiary stuff, the real tertiary stuff, right? And more effort needs to be done at the secondary level. We have to do more at the secondary level. We do IT, for example, which is the really basics, right? But we need programmers, people who can write code, who can understand code. And it's not about the talent. Talent's there, right? But we need more.
Understood. Let's see if we can get Mr. McEwen online. Mr. McEwen, are you hearing us, sir?
And I'm here.
Mr. McEwen, you're with us. Thank God you're with us, sir.
Yes.
We have been trying to sail the ship without you, sir, but we are glad that you're now on. We wanted your input. A lot of the questions that were raised, Mr. Roberts did a stellar job in answering. However, we can get from you in a minute or two, how is AI being applied to government operations? Because you're with Mind, yes? How is AI being applied to government operations?
Well, as it relates to government, I can't say we're where we want to be, because I think in the private sector, more is happening, and that is definitely the case. As you can see with the bank, Mr. Robinson mentioned the situation with the banks and stuff like that, where, you don't even have to go into the bank for a loan. Since the COVID, I have not been into a bank any at all, and we have been able to transact business. I know probably tax administration have been doing a lot of work where you're able to do things online, stuff like that, but the main part of it is learning. And part of the problem, I know again, is it that the citizen in Jamaica is really ready in a sense? We know where there is always some resistance to the change. And I remember some time ago in 2019, the Honorable Favor Williams mentioned about the 30% of all day-to-day businesses will be implemented by artificial intelligence. And I can't say where we want to be, and that was probably, I think it was 2019, and we're not where we want to be with that as yet. So, and it is really, Mr. Robinson mentioned
only resistance, or can it also be that persons had not been oriented that way? So you suddenly come with a new development. It might take a while for persons to take the jump.
Yes, they took the word out of my mouth, because that is exactly where I was going. Because part of anything that we're doing is that we have to draw it and bring it a little bit slower than rather than trying to push it down people's throat. I think what might be the case as well is that we always say that there is more than one Jamaica in a sense, because there are some sectors that will easily gravitate to it, but they know that there's another sector that is still the informal sector in a sense, will still use cash, will not be so easily moved to going online and doing stuff. You still have the older generation who are still here, who are not so quickly to transact business. They'd rather to go and stand in a line in the bank, rather to go and stand up and collect them pension.
Which is what they were already socialized to do.
Exactly, precisely.
Yeah.
So that is part of it. That is part of it as well. But for the younger generation, for sure, because we know that artificial intelligence is embedded in the phone. Artificial intelligence is embedded in social media. We move from the industrial age, and we're in the communication and media age now, where we know that everything pretty much is driven. Mr. Robinson mentioned that companies and institutions anywhere that is not really taking the pathway and using AI will eventually get left behind, and that is true, because everywhere, everything that you're doing, it is going to increase the competitive nature of every business, because it is data analytics. So you go on somewhere, you search for a shoes, or you search for a car part, and within 5 minutes you probably see something in your email from eBay, Wish, or something that's saying that this is something that you look for and you might be interested in. That is artificial intelligence. It has learned what you want. That you went for something, it acknowledges that you wanted that and learn, and it probably makes suggestion and analysis and analytics, and that is basically where you are. So as institutions, as businesses, you don't want to do that. Where I work, it's a training institution for one. So you might go on to somewhere and searching for a particular course. It is part of artificial intelligence that will be written in the meta tags and stuff like that to ensure to say you want a particular course, and we're going to it will pop up basically.
Understood. We may need to do a part two where we look at the pros and cons of AI, or we have looked at some of the advantages of this conversation with both you and Mr. Robinson. But back to the whole matter of persons wanting to go into an institution and join a line to get business done. Sometimes, whether you agree or disagree, sir, persons want to see a human being stamp that bank slip or stamp that document. They want to eyeball you and know that you have collected their money in exchange for, the receipt, etc. What are your comments on that, Mr. Bakim, before I raise another point?
Yeah, that is so true. And though I am in the ICT industry, I feel good at times to know that I can deal with somebody when you call, for example, for customer service. I'm sure most persons would feel more comfortable dealing with a person rather than dealing with a machine, which is where some of the companies are going. I think Flow has something like that now. There are other companies, maybe JPS, I'm not sure, but I know Flow, there's something with Flow. If you call, it asks your options, and so that is artificial intelligence again. It is basically what are the requirements, different from the regular PBX system. It is asking you what you want, and it is doing the transfer. So it removes that customer service rep rather than you calling and then waiting for you to connect. So it offers efficiency, in a sense, because what it does is not having to wait on somebody to answer the phone. And this artificial intelligence can be replicated more than once all over for several callers or users, opposed to one person on a phone or something.
Only because we're totally out of time. We literally are totally out of time. We're so sorry that it came on a little bit late. Sorry for that happening. And we apologize to our listeners, but only because of time, we have this conversation there. For today, maybe we'll have both of you back. I want to thank Mr. McEwen and Robinson for being with us. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and for your very valuable time. We do appreciate it. Thank you, our listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to set the stage for the discussion of topical and controversial issues. Visit the Love 101 FM YouTube channel and Facebook for this and other Love 101 FM programs Listen to the Morning Watch on our Love 101 app. Download it today and stay connected to us, the family station, Love 101 FM. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and to our guests. I am Stokely Marsh, handing you back to Love in the Morning with Siobhan Blair.
And the Morning Watch is brought to you by General Accident, future-proofing tomorrow.
There is an easy way for insurance coverage today with no line in your way. All you have to say is
Genac.com. Everything you have is everything you have. So keep your assets covered and save 10% off your insurance when you renew by visiting Genac.com. You don't need to go into a branch. You can do just about everything online at genac.com. Remember, smart insurance saves. Who knows what tomorrow brings? So future-proof everything.
insurance on the go. Trust the brand that you know.
GENAC.com.
All you have to say is Genac.com.
General Accident Insurance Company. Future-proofing tomorrow.
This is Love 101. It's 8:01 and it's time